In the sixth and last part of these videos on the worship of the church and the Eucharist, time to talk about the whole people of God. There are two things to say. One, the whole people of God stands, and two, the whole people of God moves. First, we are called into a body of people. In church, there are many other people there. They are not spectators, but they are also participants, and more than that, they are servants of Christ, and installments of Christ's gifts are embodied in them for your benefit. They are, of course, other people with all the difficulties and strangeness and argy-bargy there is in church. And, of course, there are all sorts of reluctance to see one another and speak to one another as servants of Christ. This has to be learned. We have to learn to talk gently and truthfully in judgments, but also talk one another up, to tell one another repeatedly that we are servants of the Lord. Each of us has gifts given to them by the Lord to pass on to the rest of us. So you don't get on with your clergyman? No, he is hard to get on with because he is the gift of Christ. He is the hardness, the darkness, the mystery, and the passion you have to go through. For there is no way to Christ without going through the long, dark tunnel of the breaking of our will in order to find Christ there hidden in these difficult other people. So our being integrated into this one body, that is a passion. It's a cross for all of us, and there is no way around it. In other words, there is no way around these other people that make up this specific congregation into which we're put. We have to grasp them and weep and somehow to go through them and with them, and not imagine they're just obstacles or distractions. For the church is this set of people. You look at the back of these heads and shoulders, and they are all framing Christ, whether they know it or not. That's how you have to take them. For the Lord stands, and all around the world crashes and thumps like waves beating against the lighthouse on the rock. The church stays there where Christ has put it. Christ is our foundation. The rest of the world may be in panic, rushing here and there. We cannot be moved. For the sake of the world, we must cling to Christ, who's the one peg that holds everything together. So we stand there, we frame him, and also we process and we move. And you see this in each Christian service, for we come in and the priest and cross and procession comes in with servers and incense and I don't know what. And halfway through the service, the offertory is brought up. So there is a procession. When the Bible is read, it is brought down and read before the congregation and then goes back up again. And we bow in acknowledgement of the presence of the Lord. So the whole Christian congregation is following the Lord, and we do so in this very deliberate, stylized manner in church on Sundays to show that we follow the Lord through the world. For the earth is the Lord's, and he processes through it as any judge and inspector goes around and inspects the good order of his estate. And he allows us to be swept up with him. We follow along. We are the Christian procession keeping up with our Lord. And we do this demonstrably at certain times of year. At Christmas, we go out into the town centre with the crib and we sing carols. At Palm Sunday, we go again up and down the church and then round the church and then out through the streets of our town singing. And on Easter Friday, we do the same, and perhaps Pentecost and Corpus Christi, we do the same. The church sends us out at the end of each service. This great heavenly community that has opened itself and come down to us also comes with us and powers us out of the church doors at the end of the service at what is unfortunately called the dismissal, but perhaps should really be called the commission, the Great Commission. We're sent out into the world. Now, in the church, we're clearly one lump of people. And in the world, we split up and we go our separate ways through our homes and families and jobs, and I don't know where, commuting hither and yon. But each of us is the whole divine service and the whole company of God in one little package. The service does not end. The liturgy is in you, and it burns in you like any light or candle, and you take it with you into whichever community and groups of people you go through. You are it. And when you come back, you draw with you all those who you have heard in the week. You represent in the Eucharist their voices. You are all the presence they have before the Lord. So the church stands and the church moves and proceeds through the world. Those are two things I think we have to say about the basic existence of the Christian